Hey, there we go, finally. Only took 3 attempts tonight. I actually started early. I started at 7:28 trying to get it to connect, and here we finally are. So, looks like Facebook just jumped up too, so should be up and live over there as well. So we'll keep our fingers crossed this thing keeps working. Kevin's here, ready to go. Kevin Brown, Cream City Pete Winters. Kevin L here, ready to go. Connie's on. So, glad you guys made it tonight. Glad we're working tonight. Holy cow, starting to wonder there on the 3rd attempt. Jim made it. John's here. Lee from New York. John Sanderson. John Anderson. Ron Levesque. Glad you guys are all here, ready to go tonight. Dad's here with us. Facebook is connected, and we are ready to boogie. Got an interesting night tonight. I'm going to shake things up a little bit. I actually thought of something new we could throw in. We'll see what you guys think of the news segment. Just something quick to look at. Another little snippet of history. Cool thing to check out. Thought we would add it in. But before we get too far into anything, please, a little bit of housekeeping. Please double check your autocorrect before you hit send. If I can't understand your comment, I will have to skip it. I try to catch most of them. I do miss a few, but if I can't understand it, I do skip it. Charles made it tonight. Balin Wire's here. If you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. You'll need to be on that page or the Nobody Show YouTube channel to comment, participate in the auctions, the chat, anything like that. So anyway, trolls, occasionally we do get some trolls on here. You guys are great at making sure they know they are not welcome. We've taken some steps to alleviate a lot of that, but occasionally one still does sneak up. So when they jump on, you guys do a great job of making sure they know they are not welcome. Super chats are always super awesome. We have the supercharged super chat badge right here and ready to go for any super chats. Hey, there's Kenny. Bill Disc locked in for 272. Ads, we do get ads on here. It is their game. Unfortunately, we do not have control over that. I set them at a more minimum pace than a high speed pace, but they're still coming. So we just have to work around a little bit of that. So anyway, Hubcap Dylan made it tonight. Just getting a video put together. Martin's here with us. So anyway, tonight's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, we're going to add another quick segment. I'll see what you guys think of that. This sales brochure thing, guys. Oh, you guys can't wait till we get the sales brochure tonight. Obviously, this collection that I bought has been outstanding. And I go in planning to be surprised every Saturday night when I'm working on getting stuff ready for this show. Totally VW made it. I go over and I go through a couple boxes looking for something cool. I go in anticipating to be surprised. I'm expecting to be surprised. And last night, I even had my mind blown over this thing. I mean, this stuff is just, it's so over the top, you can't even believe it exists. So we're going to have some fun with that. The artwork is absolutely gorgeous in this piece. So anyway, hey, there's Big Rig Brett ready to go. Neil's on. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll see how things shake out tonight. Something else I wanted to bring up real quickly. There was a comment made last week, and I want to run this by you guys. Maybe we can even get Andy to throw it up on the No Buddies page. If you're not on the No Buddies on Facebook, get on there for sure. About the auctions. Somebody made a comment about going back to the way we did do them, where we just did them all in one block. So there again, like I always tell you guys, this is more about you than it is about me. I just started mixing them up wherever just because I thought it would be more fun if something just popped up and we auctioned it. But anyway, we do need a Hudson badge, by the way. So, curious to see what you guys think about the auctions. We can continue doing what we're doing where we just grab one or two things and sell them real quick and just throughout the whole night. We can go back to doing what we were doing, which was typically anywhere from 8 to 12, depending on the night, how busy things were, all in one block. Or we can do a hybrid thing. We can take one block and do 4, 5, 6 things in that block and then mix a couple things in here and there throughout the night. And as we go along. So those are kind of the three ways I think we could do it. Curious to see what you guys think. And like I said, maybe we could throw that up on the Nobody's page, and then we can go back later on and look at what everybody thought, and kind of see what you guys want to do from here on out. So that's I did want to bring that up since that comment was made, because like I said, I do, you're Brett, Big Rig Brett likes it mixed up. Okay. Like I said, I'm curious to see what you guys think. If you guys have an idea, it's the only fair way to do it is to bring it up, let everybody talk about it, see what everybody thinks. So that's what I'm doing. So maybe we can get a post up on the No Buddies page. Keep an eye on that. We're just going to do what we've been doing tonight, mix things up here and there. Kevin L likes it mixed up. Okay. There again, that's great feedback. I just thought it would be fun to, okay, let's stop and do 2 or 3 things, then go to the next couple things we're going to do, then do a couple more auction pieces. But there again, just curious to see what the overall consensus is going to be. So far, a couple guys just like what we're doing, where you just never know what's going to pop up next. So, but just keep that in the back of your head. And so you guys can get your thoughts and opinions out there on what you guys think would be the best direction to go. John likes the hybrid idea, where we have a group somewhere in the middle of 4, 5, 6 things. So there again, maybe we more free, give more of it away. Well, we do have some cool stuff we're going to give away in the raffle that we're going to get to here in a little bit. So we'll talk about that in a bit as well. So maybe if we get that on the Nobody's page, that way, a few more guys that may not be on tonight to express their opinion will catch it. And then maybe by next week we can make a decision. So tonight we'll probably just mix stuff up just like we've been doing. But like I said, I wanted to bring it up and mention it. Try it both ways to see what makes more money. I'm always up for making more money. Dennis is here. Which brings up a good point. We could do the hybrid thing and try it next week and see what the participation looks like. Like I said, this isn't a get-rich deal for me, but it's got to support itself. If it makes a few bucks, great. But when I sell stuff, then I can buy more stuff that refills. It's kind of turning into a pile. The boxes are kind of like running over. It's kind of turning into a pile, actually. So, anyway, Alec made it tonight. Glad to see you over on YouTube. But that is an idea. We may try the hybrid next week and see what happens there. So there again, I'll keep an eye on those comments as we go through tonight. And if you guys want to chat about it on the No Buddies page on Facebook, I'll try to take a look at that here in a few days too and see what we think. Before I get too much further along as well, Tuesday night, I'm probably not going to be here to do Toy Tuesday unless we do something from the road. No sound on Facebook. That doesn't surprise me. I thought I had the settings where it needed to be. Apparently, it does not. There's still some people on there, and no comments about no sound. I show a handful of people on over there, but no comments on sound. So I don't know. We'll see. We haven't done an auction-only episode in a long time, so I don't know. It's been, in fact, I don't think we've done it like just strictly an auction since like Christmas. In fact, Christmas is about the only time we do that, the end of November, 1st of December, because everybody wants to look for Christmas gifts for somebody that they might need to shop for, which we all know as ourselves, but it's a good excuse. So I think those are the only times that we've done it. So I'm just thinking about a block where we stop and do 8 or 10 things like we used to do. Auburn badge. But anyway, Tuesday night, I'm at this point planning on being on the road. And I don't plan on picking anything up until Wednesday. So if I stumble on something on the road, we may jump on for a minute from the hotel. But I've got a whole bunch of new old stock Mopar stuff. Bought a bunch of Dodge truck parts that I bought 8 or 10 months ago that I probably should go get. Plus another sign. which I'm sure shocks no one that I've got to pick up another sign. So I'm going to try to get out of here Tuesday and get up in that area so that I can load first thing Wednesday morning, because I don't know how I'm going to stuff all this stuff in the truck, because the sign's like 4 foot by 4 foot. Scott says there's no sound either. So, well, I changed that setting, or so I thought, on Facebook, but apparently, let me see if I can change this. No. Who knows? And now I lost a bunch of stuff on Facebook, so I don't know what's going on over there. All right, well, whatever. I guess if there's no sound, there's no sound. Let me post a comment over here. Okay. Oh, hate to hear that, Brett. Sorry about that. So, okay, let me get that caught up. So, anyway. So, Tuesday night will be kind of a crapshoot. Don't, if I'm not on, I'm not on. If I find something, I'll try to throw something up that we're going to jump on. But probably don't plan on Tuesday night. So, anyway, what I've been doing is my week has consisted of just trying to get regrouped in these last couple of auctions. Had stuff stacked everywhere in the shop. Been working on that. Been working on a rental. We had a tenant move out. Been working on that house. Shayla's been working over on that house. So, been working on that too. So, trying to get caught up on a few things around here. Trying to make some headway and some progress. On that stuff. Scott, I already posted a video a few days ago about a 68 GT500 KR. Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff out there, guys. I think, I don't know where that car was at, but I knew there was one out in Western Kansas. I'd heard about that car. I've never seen it. I don't know exactly where it was at. I had an idea where it was at. I had heard about it, but have not seen the videos. So, oh, look at that! Look at that, Big Rig Brett starting us off with the supercharged super chat right there. Supercharged super chat for Big Rig Brett. David W's here. Supercharged super chat. There goes the hearts. Appreciate that, Brett. Boom. Anyway, one other thing I wanted to catch before we go too much further, getting into the Nobody's Page, new inventory, the new segment tonight. If you didn't catch Friday night's video, I did get the video done of the carousel at Pioneer Village. It has not had a ton of views. Typically, the Pioneer Village videos don't get a ton of views. I still like to do them just for them so people can find more about them, even though they're not usually home run videos on numbers. I still like doing them because I know that we're doing the right thing by helping them and putting more content out there so that people will find them. So we've got the video up on the carousel restoration. It's a little bit of a lengthy one. It's about 46 minutes. but we actually went through their process where they're restoring the animals. We talked about the upgrades. We talked about the building that's housed in now. So if you guys didn't catch that video, please check it out. It's exciting to see this stuff coming together. You know, we talk about Pioneer Village on here all the time. And obviously, you know, I'm a supporter. You guys are huge supporters. You know, we've got, 5 cars sponsored there now. Yes, they did, Kevin. They put a ton of work into that project. You know, we've got that earliest Ford and the second earliest known Cadillac are sponsored by us, you guys, the viewers, the Allstate and the Henry J, as well as that Chevy pickup. All say sponsored by the Nobodies on those vehicles, and that's thanks to you guys. So, you know, there again, we just caught that current again. That will be coming up again next spring. So, you know, if you guys want to continue to contribute to that, round up your auction purchases a couple bucks, add a couple bucks to your raffle tickets. I track all that, and you know, we came up with $500 to help those guys out this year, which is amazing. So it is pretty cool, Pete. There's no doubt about it. And the amount of work, I mean, there's hundreds of hours per animal, not counting the hundreds of hours in the carousel, in the buildings that is now housing the carousel. Hundreds and hundreds of hours in that project. So it's really neat to see it come together. So if you missed that video, be sure to go check it out. And you know, like I said, they don't get a ton of views, but it was pretty cool to be able to help document that for them. So now it's out there. People can see it. People get a little bit better idea of what they went through to do it. So, hey, there's Leo. But pretty cool. I'm excited about it for them. Next week, besides Run Up After Parts, what else is coming up? F&E Collector Auto Auction. I'm going to get hitting that hard. I've got a bunch of cars lined up. I got to start getting pictures. A lot of things going on with that. And I think we're going to have a heck of a sale this year. We talked a little bit about some of I got some low mileage Trans Ams coming, 3 of them, none of them that I'm buying. I don't need to buy anymore right now. That Ford pickup that's coming, some really cool stuff. We got a few things up on the website as of right now. Should have a bunch more up by next week. September 27th is the day. We'll open Friday evening, September 26th for a preview show and live auction action on Saturday the 27th. We'll start off with some memorabilia. Mark that on your calendars. It'd be awesome if you guys could get out. There's always a good group of nobodies that do show up every year. That group's getting a little bit bigger every year. Obviously, I'm extremely busy with the auction, trying to get the event, you know, with what we've got going on with the event. My partner, Chris Brochure, and I do that whole deal. Date September 27th. So if you still want to bring something, John, let me know so we can get you listed. But it's going to be here before we know it. But we got a lot of cool stuff lining up already this year, and can't wait to get on some of that. So that's going to be my primary focus starting this week, to get a bunch of cool stuff listed. And then, like I said, from here on out, till we get there, we're going to be busy trying to getting everything lined out and put together. But September 27th here in Great Bend, F&E Collector Auto Auction, FEClassicCarAuction.com is the website. Be sure to check that out and keep an eye on it as we continue to load vehicles over the next several weeks. Online bidding will go live on Proxy Bid in about a month. We usually kick that off 10 days to 2 weeks prior to the auction. There's Andy, the Rusty Okie made it. And so it'll be here before we know it. Looking forward to it. It's always a lot of fun. Hope to see some of you guys out here this year. Hey, there's Nate. I see you got the Thunderbird up for sale, Nate. Thought that was kind of odd. Kind of surprised me when I seen that pop up. Glad you stopped by tonight. '55 Chrysler taillight lenses. I do not have any. I've got housings, I think, but I don't think I've got any lenses. I think I've just got housings on those. If you want to give me a call, I can get it on my list to check it. So anyway, well, before we bail off of Facebook, since it's not working correctly, let's go ahead and check the No Buddies page. See what you guys have been up to. Y Block stuff from Andy. Enamel porcelain gas station price tags. If you guys are not on the Nobody's page, be sure to get on there. That's what we're checking out now, seeing what you guys got going. Yeah, we will have a little bit more neon yet this year, Brett. I don't know what for sure yet, but we will have a little bit. I know the feeling, Nate. Hey, Frank's here. What else are you guys up to? Ooh, this is cool. What did Matt find? What did Matt buy? Sinclair cans. That's always a win. All kinds of cool little stuff. Battery cable rack. Matt's got some cool stuff he just found. Sweet. It's always fun keeping up with what you guys have going on as well. Lee found us, tore down an old garage on his oh, that was on your property. Didn't even know that was in there. It's a sweet looking hood. Lots of you guys interacting with each other on there. It's awesome. Yeah, but that's kind of what half the fun is, though, is finding it, getting it off the wall, things like that. It is a good looking piece, though. But that's half the fun. So, muffler sign and a fire chief pedal car. Did you post those, John? I don't remember seeing those. So anyway, that's what's been great about that. Once again, can't thank Andy and Zach enough for putting that page together for us and keeping it up to date. Hey, there's Michael Brown. Stopping by. Glad you made it. You hadn't been around in a couple weeks. Glad you had time to stop on tonight, Michael. So if you're not on there, be sure to jump on there. I don't know if we have our sound issue fixed or not. On Facebook, we got a few people over there, so I don't know if we need to just kill it or let it just float, but we'll see what happens. In fact, I think we'll just shut it down. Yeah, we've got sound on YouTube, Michael. We don't have it on Facebook, is what I'm hearing. So I think we'll just bail off of Facebook. Okay. That's right, Leo. It has been a minute. So let me get that Facebook feed shut down since it's not working, and we'll stick over here on YouTube. Okay, get that caught up. Hey, there's Peppy. All right, we're going to focus on YouTube tonight since Facebook wasn't working, and we're going to get moving forward here on what we've got going on. But so if we're going to keep mixing auction stuff in, do you want to throw a few auction pieces in now before we get too far along. And then we're going to talk about some new inventory. Check out some ads. Check out a badge. Check out a brochure, an amazing brochure. Cool hubcap tonight. Promo model. The new segment. All kinds of cool stuff. So, anyway, we want to start off with an auction piece or two. Let's do it, Kevin says. Kevin's always up for that. Let me figure out how I'm going to get this pile moved here. Bear with me a second, guys. Randy with the Nut Farms here. All right, where do we want to start off at tonight? Let's start off with a little Ford cap. We'll start off with a little Ford cap. We got a little bit of everything. We got license plates, caps, emblems, cans, ashtrays, all kinds of cool stuff tonight. So let's go ahead and get a few pieces knocked out, get ready to roll. Starting off with a little Ford cap. This is a cute little guy. We've had some similar to this in the past. I don't know if we've not doing just like this, but it's a cool looking piece. 30s era. This one has had some repair work done to it. But there again, you're not going to put this thing on a show car anyway. It is it's an ornamental piece, man cave piece, but it's a good looking man cave piece. Check this little dude out. It's actually got a big dent in the back, and the V8 is offset. So I think they took the cap off, straightened this part, and then put it back on. I think is what they did. As always, we're going to go 90 seconds on this stuff. After we get done with the description, I'll hit the timer. We'll go 90 seconds. The high bid I see at that point when we get through the 90 seconds is the winner. This little guy is just under 7 inches in diameter. Kevin's starting us off at 10. The V8 was originally blue. I don't know if you can see a little bit of the blue still down in there. You could, repaint that or just leave it the way it is. Ron, 15 on the little V8 cap. But like I said, it's not a show car piece, but it sure looks cool. Let's go ahead and get this one on the timer. Shipping will be included on, everything tonight. Anything in the 48 states will include shipping. Sounds good, Andy. Appreciate it. Hey, there's JP made it. It is cool auto bling bling. That's right, Leo. But we're ticking away on it. We are live. Shipping included in the 48 states. If you're a non-U.S. buyer, you can play. You just will have to get me paid in U.S. funds as well as pay for non-U.S. shipping since this project kind of feeds itself. So anyway, it's kind of where we're at on this stuff. Check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family. All works good for me. Randall with the Nut Farm at 20 as we pass the 30-second mark. 60 seconds left to go on the little V8 cap. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Nut Farm at 20. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. I was wondering who Joe was, Pete. Rusty Okie, 25. Kevin, 25. We got a few seconds left. We'll see what happens. I got Andy first at 25. We got a few seconds left to go. Tim B, 27, and that does it. Holy cow. Tim B at 27, and that came in at 129. There was no way to even think twice. That was that was just about as perfect a shot as Tim B could have hit. It could not have got any closer. I seen it pop up. I announced it. I looked down to see where the timer was at. It was 129. By the time I looked back up, it was rolling to 130. Nobody had another shot. Kevin L took one, but it was under the bid anyway. But that was like as perfect as you could have gotten, Tim. But the other thing about it is that much longer, and you wouldn't have got it. But you got it in that time, just by a hair. But it was just about perfect. That was fun. Let's do a license plate. I got kind of a mixture of license plates from different states tonight. We'll squeeze some of those in. And I got a couple really cool caps and stuff laying here, some cool emblems. We'll have some fun tonight with this stuff. Oklahoma. No, I didn't have any Oklahoma tonight. I need to try to grab some of those, dig some of those out. We're going to go a little bit that way to Colorado, colorful Colorado from 1954. There's a big thing on blackout plates right now. Everybody wants to do black plates with white letters. A lot of states have them available as an option. That's what Colorado had in 1954. A blackout plate. Black plate, white letters. Real basic and simple. What's kind of funny and kind of ironic, it still says colorful Colorado, but it's a black plate with white letters. How colorful is that? That was kind of ironic that we're going to promote Ron 10 colorful Colorado with a black license plate and white numbers. But whatever. Pappy 15. This is a stamp plate, all embossed. It was bent right here, and it is cracked right here. I want you guys to be able to see that crack in it. But so it's not perfect, but there again, it's 71 years old. So that's kind of what I thought, though, Pete. It's colorful Colorado on a black plate with a white number. Just about as basic as you can get. So, yeah, and Kansas just made them available as an option because they said they're so popular everywhere that a lot of states have, because people are willing to pay to get them for some reason. I don't know. So, anyway, let's get this one going. Timer is live and rolling. Pappy at 15 on the 1954 uncolorful Colorado plate. It is a little bit different size, kind of like some of that 30 stuff is. It is 12 and a half, so a little bit longer by 5 and a half. So it's just a little bit longer than the standard 12 by 6. Just past the 30-second mark, Pappy at 15. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. One minute gone. Working our way to the end, working our way up that 90 seconds. Here we go. Pappy at 15. Coming out of the end, we got a little bit left. Tim B going to take another perfect shot. And that does it. Pappy at 15. Ron had an 18, but it was about 3 seconds too late. All right, let's squeeze a couple of emblems in real quick, and then we're going to move on. Chevy truck fans. A pair of Chevy truck badges. Dave, Indiana just announced it. I said, Kansas just did it a couple months ago. Apparently, it's a big deal for blackout plates. I don't know. They're not that appealing to me, but what do I know? Well, I do know that we are going to sell you a pair of Chevy truck emblems. One of these is kind of rough. One of them is pretty cool. This one's kind of banged up, but I found it at my buddy's yard when I was out on the road. It was laying there. It's kind of banged up, and I was like, it's still kind of cool. And it's still a good display badge. It's nothing you would put on a truck, and the studs are broke. But I couldn't leave it lay there, so we're going to start off with, I think this is 65 maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I know one of you guys will know. But I think this is a 65 C10 badge. It is a little bit rough, but it's not broken, but it is pitted up. Just a display piece. Obviously, this background behind the 10 was originally red. The bow tie was originally blue. Studs are broke on it. So there again, just kind of a cool Chevy guy piece. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. You know, it was. I think it was laying on the ground. Couldn't leave it lay there to get run over. 7 5/8 by 2 3/8, so a little under 8. North Dakota just added blackout. Well, see, it's a thing. That's what I read when Kansas announced them, that they said it's a big thing that a lot of states are doing it. So I had to bring this in and save it, but I wanted to throw something else with it. Another Chevy truck badge going with the C10 badge. This one backing up a few years. Brett 20, the 1941 to 1946 grill badge. This one has a few pits in it, not nearly as bad. These are a pretty sharp-looking badge. Originally, the bow tie on these were blue. These hash marks cutting across here the other way were red. This has screws that screwed it to the center of the grill on a 41 to a 46. And it is about 5.5 inches long. So, Ron, 25. So you are getting the pair. We are live and on the timer. The pair of Chevy truck badges. Ron at 25. Coming up on that 30-second mark. Then we're going to talk about a little bit of new inventory. 2 cars came in this week. Completely different things, completely different animals, completely different companies. And designed by the same company. So we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Big Rig Brett at 26. Just about up on that 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Ticking away, coming out of the wire on this one. Big Rig Brett at 26. And that'll do it. Tim B had a 28, and that time it was 2 seconds too late. That's sometimes it happens when you cut them that close. You missed it by that much this time on the other side, Tim. So, anyway, we still got a ton of cool stuff here. Big pile down there to work with. But anyway, like I said, had 2 cars come in this weekend. One of them actually Rico brought out. Our good friend Rico, he was here yesterday getting a bunch of cores for Classic Parts out of Kansas City. He rebuilds a lot of stuff for those guys for your Chevy truck needs. So if you know Chevy truck stuff, you know Classic Parts out of Kansas City. Rico helps them out a lot. I sell them a lot of cores. They're good people. Give them a shout if you need anything on Chevy truck stuff. 77 to 79 Lincolns. I've got 1 town car. I've got a bunch of parts off of some cars that were stripped over the years. Just depends on what we're talking about, Andy. I don't think I've got. I think I've got 155 New Yorker, but I don't think it had lenses in it. I think it had housings, but no lenses. So I don't think I do. I can double check if you want to give me a call. I can get it on my list tomorrow, but I don't think I do. But anyway, so Rico was here yesterday. Rico is actually building the Studebaker bullet nose convertible that we had. If you guys remember that car, he wants to build a custom out of it. So I've got a Thunderbird that he wants the interior out of. So he found this car. You bet, TJ. He found this car that he bought it. It was going to the crusher. He said, "Hey, can you use this? I'll just bring it out. We'll do some trading on some of those parts." I said, "Perfect." So he brought one out, and then I picked one up locally here. But there is a similarity between the two. It is as of now, Brett. I think it's still pretty much together. Pininfarina. There's one, and there's the other. So kind of weird that I ended up with two cars, completely different manufacturers, completely different eras, yet both Pininfarina designed cars. So, but they are about as far apart from being anything similar as you can possibly get. What did Rico bring out? He hauled out a 1954 Nash Statesman Super. So kind of a weird little car. It's pretty rough, pretty rusty. Hey, there's Steve. Steve was here yesterday as well. But so we'll get you a full video on that. Killer hood ornament. Still had the owner's manual in the glove box, but really rusty. It's definitely just a parts car. But like I said, it was better than going to the crusher. So Rico grabbed it, hauled it out. We did some trading with it, and we got her here in stock. So we're going to be sharing that with you. The other car I know absolutely nothing about. Completely out of my wheelhouse. And, excuse me. But it was kind of a weird deal. I knew the guy that owned it. He moved out of town. He lived here in Great Bend. He moved. It was a little car that him and his son were working on. It wasn't a terrible car, but they had a fuel line break and started a small under hood fire. Actually, the car could be fixed. It wouldn't. I don't think it would take a ton to fix it. But it is what it is. So it's a weird little car. We'll do a video on it. Maybe some of you guys can enlighten me on it. Maybe someone of you guys wants to fix it. It's a very fixable car. It's just a weird little deal. And it's Italian, which is even weirder. But you guys do like Italian cars. This actually is a 1984 Spider. However, it is not near as cool as the last 1984 Spider I had from Italy. So unfortunately, it was not another Ferrari, because I do still miss my Ferrari. But it's a 1984 Spider, which is what my Ferrari was. My Ferrari was a 308 GTSI Quattro valve. So it's an 84, it's Italian, and it's a Spider, but that's pretty much where the similarities end. Actually, they were all Pininfarina design cars, though. That doesn't sound good, John. But I picked up a 1984 Alfa Romeo Spider, whatever that's for. But like I said, I knew this guy. He's like, I got to get rid of this thing. I'm moving. I'm going to sell the house. It's got to go. And I don't know if this thing's worth $50 or $5,000. I have no clue. So I just told him what I give him for it. And I said, if you sell it, fine. If you don't sell it, fine. And I'll take it if you need to get rid of it. I have zero idea what I'm going to do with it. Like I said, we'll do a video on it. We'll kind of try to sort it out. Try to figure out I don't know what to do with it. I'm hoping that one of you guys says, that's cool. I want to try to get it running again. And I can sell it to one of you, because it's almost too good to part it out. But it's going to need a lot of work, and I don't think it's a real high dollar car done. So I don't know. But anyway, that it is what it is. I now own a 1984 Alfa Romeo Spider for whatever that's worth. Probably absolutely nothing, but I own one. So anyway, I'm hoping some of you guys can help me out with that, and maybe have a little more insight once we do the video on it. But hey, we're all going to learn something about an Alfa Romeo. So, like I said, neat little car. I like Italian cars. I just like the ones with prancing horses on them. So, I don't know. It is what it is. We'll get a video shot on it. You guys tell me what you think, and then we'll go from there. Picture, it didn't happen. Yeah. So anyway, you guys want to kind of find out what I got in mind for a new segment. Does this new segment sound interesting to you at all? I hear that, John. So this new segment, I don't know why we've never thought of this before. I mean, we check out cool stuff all the time, caps, badges, the brochure thing. Bring home the new segment. Enlighten us, okay? So I don't know why we've never thought of this before. I have hundreds of them. I have a few that are really pretty rare. I have some really cool ones, and that's why you collect these, is because they're awesome. Good colors, good graphics. We talk about them on it all the time, but we've never just stopped and focused on one and worked it into the mix. No idea why I've never thought of this before. Probably because sometimes I'm just not too smart. But it hit me last night, so I thought, we'll throw it out there. We'll see what you guys think. If you guys give it a, we won't do it anymore. If you guys like it, we'll keep doing it. So what I'm thinking, Jeff from Ottawa, no, we haven't got to the promo yet. We're working on a new segment. We're going to see if we get a thumbs up or a thumbs down on a new segment that we're going to talk about. So what I'm thinking is we do all this stuff that we talk about and check out. Why have we never done consistently? We do them on Toy Tuesday, but really worked it in and talked about the stories on cans. Why have we not done that? I don't know. You guys let me know. You guys think this is a dumb idea or not? But I've got a can tonight that's a really unique one, and I thought we would share it. Obviously, colors, graphics. Some of these cans are amazing. Pete likes the idea. There's a thumbs up. So you guys tell me what you think after we check out our first regularly scheduled can in the can segment. This one goes back to right around 1931. It is a quart metal, and it is very unique. I don't know that I've ever seen another one of these. Times 100 thumbs up. Okay? Now, exactly, Dylan. It's like, wake up. It's part of what we do. I've got hundreds of them. Let's work it in. So what we've got tonight is what's called a transition can. When a company was in the process of changing graphics, fonts, colors, logos, things like that, exactly, Steve, that's the best way to put it. So this is a really, really cool transition can. Sometimes they're changing colors or fonts. It's not a big deal. This transition can has two of the most iconic logos out there on the same can. This is a 1931-ish mobile transition can. This is original paint, 90 plus years old. We see obviously our Peggy right here on the front. They were transitioning fully into Pegasus for the logo at this point in 1931. However, this can has another little interesting secret hiding. Now we see up here at the top, we still can see our full red line here, which tells me this can has not been relidded. Sometimes, especially on really rare cans, you'll find stuff that has been relidded, but this gap will be off. This line will not be quite right because it was re-rolled, retrimmed, and relidded. So we've got the Pegasus on both sides of this mobile can. However, on the lid, and we can see the seam, this is a steel painted can, it still has the gargoyle. So transition can. Probably had plenty of gargoyle lids, but they were switching to the Pegasus logo. Ron's digging it. This is a standard 1 quart, but it is a transition can from the gargoyle to the Pegasus, all on one can. You do not see these very often. Like I said, I think this is the only one I've ever seen. Glad you guys are liking it. And there again, and you do see this with different companies, different things as, like I said, logos, fonts, colors, things like that change. What's really amazing is having two iconic logos on the same can with the Pegasus and the gargoyle on 1 quart. So anyway, I don't think this one's going anywhere. And I did pay up to get this, but like I said, I'd never seen one before. This stuff doesn't come around all the time. So, yeah, you knew that when you did it, didn't you, VW? So anyway, a lot of cool comments about the can. Is the can segment a keeper or a Michael? Now you got Michael going, VW. Is the can segment a keeper or a sleeper? You know, what do you guys think? Do we kind of just, there again, we're just taking a minute or two and sliding them in there, but talking about different cool things. So Pete's all up for it. So Kevin L likes it. Like I said, it's something a little bit different, but got a case of Pennzoil with the oil in them. Looks like it, Ron. Looks like everybody's voting to keep the can segment. So glad you guys liked it. And like I said, I don't know why we never thought of it before. It's maybe because it was too obvious. Who knows? I don't even think you're anywhere close to what I paid for it, guys. Tony and Michael, you're all, I don't even think we're in the ballpark of what I had to pay to get that thing. But there again, when you find something, how often do you see a can like that? Perfect, Michael. Glad they worked out good. Let's catch an emblem, and maybe we'll do a couple of auction items. We got a promo to go. We got to announce the new raffle. We got this brochure. I don't remember what I paid, but it was well over $100, I'm sure. Probably 100, 150. I don't think I gave $2 for it, but it was. But I bought it probably 5 years ago too. You know, and like we talk about a lot of this stuff. You know, a lot of the pump plates that we were giving away 2 or 3 years ago that I could buy for $100 a quarter, those are $250 now. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, if I remember correctly, somewhere in the 100 to 150 range. You know, about 4 or 5 years ago. So anyway, let's catch an emblem real quick. Maybe do a couple auction items. Working up to this brochure, guys, because this, I can't believe this thing was in here. I can't believe this thing was in here. But tonight's emblem, yeah, I know, Michael, it's that great. We're all in love with it. This is a good font on this script. I've always kind of liked these from the mid-'60s. On the Buick Wildcats. This particular badge happens to be off of a 64. I always thought they did a really good job with this script. When you think about the Wildcat, the image they were trying to portray with the Wildcat being a full-size, sporty luxury car, I thought they really nailed this emblem. And this is just me personally. But the cursive script on it, it's not too flowy. It's a little edgy. But that's what you want. John, this brochure is going to be a lot. I'm forewarning you guys because this brochure is going to be a lot. 63, 64 Wildcat, this emblem looks very similar. However, they are slightly different. They are not the same. You're right, Steve. The round Wildcat head on the C-pillars was also great looking. This would have been a quarter panel emblem. This was chrome plated pop metal. It just literally screwed to the side of the car back when emblems actually had studs and bolted on. This particular Wildcat emblem is about 9 3/8, so a little under 9.5 inches long on this particular Wildcat badge. So, like I said, just one that I thought they got right. Clean, easy to read, but a little edgy since it was a Wildcat. They wanted you to know it had a little performance, but it was still refined. So I thought they did this one just right. That's what has always appealed to me about this particular script. So I thought we'd share it with you guys tonight. Who's ready to talk about the raffle? Some of you guys are already in. So I told you guys would go ahead and find something for this month. I was going to go ahead and skip it. You guys wanted to do it, so I rounded some stuff up. We'll see if you guys think I did a good job, and we'll see if we get anybody that see how many entries we get this month. It was pretty weak last month, so we were going to skip till winter, but you guys said let's do it. So, and some of you guys already did jump in. Let me go grab what we're going to do this week or this month for the raffle. Okay. Hey, glad you got by for a bit tonight, Michael. It's good to see you again. Yeah, exactly. Nut farm emblems are now stickers. So, if we don't get enough entries, hold the giveaway. We could do that too, Ron. That is a possibility. We usually kind of try to stick to that month, but we'll see how things go. But we'll see what you guys think. Maybe you guys are all going to be excited about this, and everybody's going to want to buy a ton of tickets. So, 4 pieces for our winner this month, though. 4 pieces. We'll start off with the worst one first. But we talked about this last week. I came up with 4 cool ones that I think you guys are going to like. We've talked about these before. I love them. I think they're completely underlooked pieces for your man cave, your bar. Valve covers. We all like valve covers, right? We've given some away in the past. We're going to do 4 on this month. Our winner's going to get 4 valve covers. We're going to start with the roughest one first. This one has some heavy pitting on it on the surface rust, and it does require a decal to look super cool if you refinish this. This is a nail head Buick, like a 53, 54 era. It doesn't look that exciting, and the surface rust has pitted the metal. But this outline right here has a big, super cool sticker that goes on it. So if you repainted this green, and the kind of green that these were, and then put the decal back on it, they look awesome. I'm going to show you what the decal looks like. So just so you guys know, this is what it's supposed to look like on there. So if you repaint this, put that sticker back on it, it will make a really cool valve cover. Just not quite as exciting just sitting there by itself. But another one of those deals I found at my buddy's yard in one of those engine piles. In fact, a couple of these came from there. So I was like, it's too cool. Somebody can still do something with this the way these are embossed. We can't, I don't think we can hang these. Maybe I can stand them up here. What? I know. The pile's too big for you to get around, isn't it, Knucklehead? Let's move some of these goodies here. Is it going to fit up there? Let's see. We'll try to put them up there. If they fall down, they're just going to land on my head. So probably not probably okay there. Let's move some of those goodies out of the way. And let's grab the next one. For our Ford fans, use the valve cover for a desk lamp. I've seen that. Don't cover Heather. I think we can line them all up right here and not affect Heather, guys, okay? For our Ford fans, this one also stamped in the metal, Mercury. It's got the big M in here. and runs all the way down the side of the valve, down the valve cover. And we can even see on the back where this one is stamped. You see where that stamp is. So this is actually all embossed in the metal on the Mercury valve cover. There goes the hearts. I'm taking that as a good sign that you guys are liking the valve covers. For our Mopar fans, this is mid-50s Chrysler, but it is not a Hemi. A couple of these come from my buddy's yard. A couple of them I just had around. In fact, one of them I think I got from Nate, actually. For our Chrysler fans, like I said, not a Hemi, but this thing is still really cool. We've done some Hemi valve covers on here before. But this one is from a Chrysler Spitfire. This is all stamped in here. You look at the back of the valve cover. That is stamped in there. It is a scallop look. This is a really great looking valve cover. Like I said, you can blast these, refinish them, leave them the way they are. Oh man, that's a lot of hearts. I think these are awesome. The hearts are still going for the Spitfire. And one more, going back to GM to wrap up this quadrant of valve covers. I think I got this one from Nate, actually, at a swap meet. This is from the 472 500 area family of Cadillac. Stamped steel valve cover. This one has been repainted before. You can see the original color underneath it. Also stamped in the metal. There again, hang them up the way they are, bead blast them, refinish them. I've got them both ways in my valve cover collection. But you can go either way with them, but these are all stamped metal. Other than the one will require a sticker, but it goes on the metal piece that's stamped in the metal. Lots and lots of hearts still flowing, and lots of excitement. So Ron looks excited too. So anyway, we've got 4 of them. This is probably a terrible plan. That Cadillac is not going to sit there. This thing is that curve is not going to allow it to stand. So let's see if we can do this. At least for the time being. We may do something later, but there they are. We're going to need a bigger boat. Yeah, and then I'm going to rock back, hit the wall, and all 3 of those are going to land right on my melon. But I'll try not to do that. Welding tank chain up there, yeah. I'll play with it next week, see if we can get a little bit better way to get them up there. But anyway, that's what we do. That's what I got for this month. Obviously, some great feedback. So glad you guys are excited about it. We've got a few entries in there already. We'll see how things wrap out for the month. But glad to see that you guys are excited about the valve cover project. Like I said, I think they're extremely underrated as far as decorator pieces because a lot of valve covers were art. When you open the hood, that was part of what the attraction was, to catch you to look under there and check that stuff out. So they designed that stuff to make it pretty, make it attractive. They wanted everything about that car back in that era. This is all 50s and 60s stuff to catch your attention, whether you were inside the car, outside the car, in the trunk, in the glove box, looking at the dash, under the hood. The aesthetics and the design counted everywhere. These are all perfect examples of that. Awesome, Tim. Appreciate it. So, speaking of which, I guess we should sell a couple more things too, shouldn't we? Let's sell a couple of more things. Then we'll get to the cap and some ads and a promo model. Glad you like it, John. All right, let's do another one of these tire ashtrays. This one's got some great color to it. This is a trans steel radial from our friends at Firestone. Some great color in this one from Colby, Kansas. Nice color in there. The paint on these was on the bottom and it was exposed, so seeing one with this good a color you don't see very often. All the cool tire markings right inside of it. Look at the tread on this thing. Cool looking tire on the Firestone Trans Steel Radio. Kevin will start us off at 10. Good condition on this one. It's a little bit bigger than some of the other ones. This one is 6.5 in diameter. Ron 30, Michael 15. I've got Ron at 30. Let's get this thing on the timer and get rolling with it. Good looking piece. These are a lot of fun. I've got a lot of them that I've kept over the years, but sending some of them down the road to you guys as well, just because they're a lot of fun. Michael Winter, 32. 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. Michael at 32. One minute gone. 30 seconds left. That's true, John. It was pretty cool that they had these out there. I'm not a smoker either, but I still think these are kind of neat just because of the details in the tire. Just about ready to wrap this one up. Michael at 32, and that gets it done. Hey, there's Steve Reed. Ron had a 40 in there, but it was 2 seconds too late. Michael Winter, 32. Is that your first auction win, Michael? All right, Michael's first auction win. He's bought parts from us a few times. Michael's first auction win. Congratulations to Michael on that. I keep looking at those valve covers up there thinking, don't rock back into the wall, dum-dum. Oh. Look at that. Look at that. Boom. Supercharged super chat from the Nut Farm. Appreciate that, Nut Farm. Supercharged super chat. Boom. There we go. Always appreciate the super chats. You guys think what we're doing here is good enough for throw a few bucks at it. Always appreciate that. Glad you guys are excited about the new raffle. And appreciate that. Nut Farm as well as Big Rig Brett both hitting us with supercharged super chats so far this evening. All right. If we're going to get back in the can business, guys, we got to add cans to your collection, right? Am I right? So let's sell a can. This is a quart from our friends at Skelly. It is Newell stock. It is full. If it is a pickup item, some of you guys, I save your boxes till the next time you're in town. I will leave it full. If I have to ship it, I have to drain it. So anyway, Shopcat stopping by. Going back into the abyss that is his attic. That does not sound like fun. Shop Cat, glad you made it by. And hope you survived the attic project tonight. All right. Like I said, this is new old stock, but it does need to be. I will have to drain it unless it is a pickup deal. From Skelly, automatic transmission fluid, Skelmatic. Good colors on this one. We can see this is a ribbed can, which is kind of unique. It is metal, painted steel. We see the seam here. Skelly Oil Company right across the bottom. Approved Dextron type, so this would have been a GM type fluid. Still closed on the top, still closed on the bottom. Still full of tranny fluid. No logo on the back. This is a single logo can, but hey, you can only look at one side of it at once anyway, right? Nice colors on the red, white, and blue on this 1 quart Skelmatic Skelly automatic transmission fluid quart. So anyway, who's going to get us boogieing on this one? We'll go ahead and get this one rolling on the timer. Grab another plate and get ready. Ron at 10. Coming up on the 30-second mark. These can get a little bit heavy when they're full and you're sitting here just balancing them on your hand. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Ron's the only one on our can right now. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Coming out of the end of this one, Ron at 10. The only guy we got. There we go. Kevin at 17. Brett 5. That must have been an old one or a typo. Kevin at 17. We're coming out of the end, about ready to wrap this one up. Ron at 18, and that does it. Whew. Ron got that in barely. And then Kevin at a 22, but it was a couple seconds too late. Ron at 18 is where I was at the minute 30 mark. Let's slide another license plate in here real quick, and then we'll move on to the cap, the promo, and work our way up to that brochure here in a little bit. We got some killer caps to sell tonight, too, actually. Or should we do another cap? What do you guys want, a cap or a plate? I already wrote the plate down. We got to sell the plate. Going up north for me at least, to Montana. 1963. This is actually, to me, this is kind of funny. It's almost so basic that it's entertaining. It is a flat piece of aluminum with the state stamped in it and some black paint. That's it. We're going to stamp the outline of the state, stamp some numbers in it, stamp trailer in it, paint the numbers black, throw it out the door. That's it. That's literally what this plate is. The backside, you can see it's raw aluminum. Perfect, Michael. Appreciate it. With the outline of the state, trailer, the numbers, and a little bit of black paint. I find it comical that it's like you got like all this extra material over here, all this extra meat down here. I find it almost comical the way that they laid these out. Ron at 10. This is a basic standard 12x6 size plate. It is all embossed. You can see this is all stamped in, including the outline of the state, with all this extra flat metal out here on the corner. But that's what I was figuring, Brett. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of entertaining the way they did it. I don't know if that makes it valuable, but it does make it entertaining. It is trailer, so it is probably a little bit different. But they thought less was more. That could be it, Bill. We're on at 10. We're on the timer, and here we go. We'll get the promo model ready here. So we get ready. We'll do the cap, the promo, maybe sell a couple more things, and then the brochure, the classified ads. Coming up on the 30-second mark. One minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Ron must be the only guy on this plate. We'll find out here in about 30, little less than 30 seconds. But like I said, it's almost so plain that that's almost what makes it entertaining. Kevin, 17. Hey, Michael made it back. Coming out of the end, Michael at 17, or Kevin at 17, excuse me. Tony, 20. Michael at 18. I got Tony at 20. Ron at 18. And that does it. Tony's 20 held. Michael came back with a 21, but it was too late. Tony's 20 covered it to get it to the minute 30 mark. All right, let's catch a cap and a promo. Then maybe we'll sell another cap. And then maybe we got a couple of I got a great plate too. Tonight's cap. Going back to what I believe is the 1929 to 1931 window. It can't be any newer than 31. I know that because they didn't make these cars past 31. Their younger sister car outshined them to the point where they basically put them out of business, and the lesser sister car took over the entire brand. A lot of you guys may be familiar with what we're talking about. A lot of car companies in the 20s and 30s did have a sister brand, typically a step-in model, a little priced a little bit lower to get them into the line and then move up to the other car. So that did happen a lot with a lot of companies back in that time period. However, this one, the younger sister car, completely took over as Pontiac exceeded their older brother, the Oakland. Oakland was dead after 31. From what I found on AmericanAutoEmblems.com, our favorite website, these cars branded like this. Oh, look at that. Check that out. Big Rig Brett hitting us once again with another supercharged super chat. Big thanks to Big Rig Brett for hitting us with another supercharged super chat. Busting out the original 1935 Auburn boat tail speedster supercharged side hood emblem for the supercharged super chats. What? You want to come say hi? You do? You want to say hi? All right, you can come say hi for a minute. All right? You can come say hi just for a minute. Okay, here we go. All right. Here you go. Say hi. Say hi to everybody. They're over here. Hey, knucklehead. Over here, knucklehead. Yes, everybody's over here. Yes. You want to say hi? There you go. You're going to say hi, then you're going to go back down so you don't step on anything and screw it all up. Because you have a tendency to do that. Right, Gray Kitty? Yes, you have a tendency to screw everything up when you get to dancing on the keyboard. You seem happy. You're purring away. What are you doing? Hey, Alan stopping by just for a bit. Glad you made it tonight, Alan. All right, we're going to put you down. I'm going to get back to work. There you go. You got to say hi. You're also a furry mess. Yes, you're a furry mess. So anyway, back to tonight's grease cap. After doing a little bit of research on AmericanAutoEmblems.com, I only saw the, Michael, all four of these: Cadillac, Chrysler Spitfire, Mercury, and Nailhead Buick. These were, the actual badges were branded this way from 1929 to 1931 on the Oaklands that were made in Canada. Check this thing out. Canadian Oakland grease cap. I'm sure these painted areas have been touched up over the years. This is kind of a unique piece. We get whammied a little bit right up over here, things like that. But, all these grease caps have to come off. So it's really weird to see one with a perfectly round circle on the front. We can usually see that hex shape somewhere so that these caps could be spun off. This particular one has the hex right behind the circle. As with all these, there are internal threads back here where they thread it on. Ron's trying to buy this too. We can see that where this one is stamped all the way through in here. This is a little bit bigger than what we're used to on a lot of these, but there again, this is probably 29 to 31. These caps were getting a little bit larger by then. This one almost 4.5 in diameter, so a little bit bigger than some of these. Nut Farm's getting. We do need to do a grease cap tonight, actually. Not this one. This is the only one of these. This is the only one of these I've ever even seen. But it's a good point. We do need to do a grease cap. Man. Man. Some of them had specific wrenches, some of them did not. So, but I've never really pursued them. And the thing about it is, unless you found it with a car, it would be hard to know exactly what it went to. So, but that, yes. Hey, whoa, that's the keyboard. That's the keyboard, door, dum-dum. You can't go over to the keyboard. You need to get down. 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 No, you don't. You're going to knock that tile off. You need to go down. There we go. Okay. So, anyway, pretty neat piece. Only one I've ever seen. Kind of excited about this one to add to the collection. Obviously, I've actually got a porcelain sign that does say Pontiac Oakland on it because I've always liked Pontiacs. I bought that sign 25 years ago. And maybe before channel locks, that's true. So kind of a neat piece. So anyway, let's put that one down. Why don't we sell a grease cap or two real quick? Should we sell a grease cap or two real quick? What the heck, right? I'm going to sell you. I'm going to sell you because you're being a pest. All right. We'll do one real quick here. I think we've done some similar to this in the past, but this just has a great look to it. It's got a great, kind of a good wear, good finish, good patina to it. Not a real rare one, but it's got great crisp. Oh, look at that. Look at that. More supercharged super chat coming in from Michael Brown. Boom. Supercharged super chat right before we get into the grease cap auction from Michael. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate that. Supercharged super chat from Michael Brown. What? All right, let's squeeze a grease cap in here real quick. Then we're going to do the promo. This one from our friends at Buick. I love the way some of these things wear. We see how some of the finish is worn off down to this kind of coppery brown look. But look how cool the Buick font is straight across here. Crisp, clear, shows its age, but still looks really crisp. I really, really like these when they, these things get beat up so bad. So when we get a nice one with good, crisp, clear font on it, really can tell what it is. The backside, you can even see it clear stamped in there. Brett said he'll buy you, dum-dum. This one, obviously, we can see the hex right around the front on this one. Good-looking cap. Tim B starting us off at 10. Let me give you a dimension on this. Then we're going to get it on the timer. It is 3.5 across the back. And it is about 2 3/4 across the hex. Ron at 20, Michael at 10, Ron at 20, our high bidder as we go on to the timer on the Buick cap. Michael, 25, Michael Winter. $30 seconds gone. Michael Winter's getting in the groove now, guys. Better watch out. One minute gone. About ready to wrap it up. Just about to the end. Tim B, 27. Ron, 28. And that does it. Ron at 28. That was another one of those at 129. Hey, Eric made it tonight. What the heck? Let's do a plate real quick before we do the promo while we're here, right? Let's do a actually 100-year-old license plate. $100-year-old license plate coming up. This thing is long. 16.5 inches. It has been restored. It has been repainted. So it is not original finish. Michael don't even care. He's starting us at 10, which you'd be perfectly safe there at Michael. Trust me. 16.5 inches long. 4 5/8 tall. On this 1925 Wisconsin. Now, like I said, it's been painted. I don't know how close this is to the original colors. It's kind of a grayish blue with kind of an off-white or probably light yellow letters. But it is 1925, clearly Wisconsin. John Sanderson at 20. So there again, it's always cooler when they've got the original finish, but it's fairly straight. It's been up a little bit. It had a little surface rust on it. You know, if we look real close, we can see, well, it had a little bend right here. We see there was a little bit of pitting down under here. Eric, 25. But there again, this came out of the rust belt, and all the edges are intact. Yeah, there's a little bit of surface rust on the back, too. Sounds good, Tim. Glad you were here. Ron at 30. So, you know, there again, this thing came out of the rust belt. It is intact. Still looks halfway decent. Just like I said, it's always better when they got the original finish. But this still doesn't look too bad. So, anyway, Ron at 30. Yeah, it looks fine, John. It's always cooler when it's original paint. Don't get me wrong. It looks nice, but it's always better when they're original paint as far as I'm concerned. But they did do a nice job on it. The valve covers are the Raffle this month, Eric. Ron at 30 on the 1925 Wisconsin plate. Coming up on that 1 minute mark. Everybody kind of sitting on their thumbs right now. Ron at 30. But we're going to find out what's going to happen here in just about 30 seconds because we're almost to that 1 minute mark. And there it is. 1 minute gone. Just under 30 seconds left. Cool plate, 100 years old. Michael Winter at 40. Coming up on that 90-second mark. That's a good point, John. Eric, 42. Couple seconds left. Ron, 44, and that does it. Holy cow. Ron got that in at 129 once again. Eric had a 45, a little bit too late. Holy cow. Ron is on fire tonight. 2 of them in a row right at that 128, 129 mark. Wow. All right, promo model time. We all love promo models, right? Tonight, no exception. Another very check it out. Another supercharged super chat, this time from Kevin L. Thanks, Kevin. Always appreciate the supercharged super chat, guys. It's just nice that you guys think, this is what we're doing here is worth throwing a couple bucks at. It's just awesome. I mean, it's not the money. It's not huge dollars. Obviously, I'm not getting rich off of it. But the fact that you guys say, hey, we're having a good enough time, I'll throw a couple bucks at it. That's awesome. So, supercharged super chat from Kevin L. So, Nut Farm, Kevin L., Big Rig Brett, all hitting us tonight with supercharged super chats. As we get ready to roll into the promo model, once again, another one from the amazing Chevrolet collection. Dad and I went to this auction last September. Wow, coming up on a year already. We've still got probably a dozen of these to go. 84 promos at that auction, all from the Chevy dealer. They were up in north central Kansas every year. They took what they liked home, put it on the shelves in their house, and these promos never saw the light of day again other than being displayed in their living room. And so the condition on them all is amazing. They were never played with. They were never beat up. And tonight, in autumn gold, we have the 1962 Chevy 2 Nova convertible promo model. This is one you don't see all the time. Good looking little promo. That you did, Big Rig Brett. You all right there, John? Nice, clean detail on this one. Just like all these promos, they're not chipped up. They're not beat up. The bumpers aren't chipped. Original tires and wheels. Interior all intact. Steering wheel's not broke. Sun visor's not broke. Clean on the back of these as well. Now, one thing that's a little bit different about this promo, though, something we have not seen on any of these Chevrolet promos, and very, very rarely do we ever see, this promo has an opening hood. We're going to be real careful with this. This one's actually going to get more awesome. You guys are saying this is awesome. It's about to get a lot more awesome. I'm going to try to be very careful with this so I can hold it and you guys can still see under here. What do you think of this? I bet you're right. It was, John. I hope you guys can see this. I'm going to try to get it in the camera angle to see this little 6-cylinder, but I can't really see around my camera to see what you guys are seeing. So can you guys get a pretty good glimpse under there? This hood has a spring in it. So I'm just kind of keeping it propped open with my finger. I want to be very careful. I don't want to break anything or damage anything, obviously, on these promos. But this one actually has an opening hood with an engine in it. Kevin L says you can't see it. Perfect. So, very unique. And there again, it's all intact. You can see how well the hood still fits. Because this thing, that hood's probably hasn't been opened 10 times, if that. It may have never been opened. They may have taken this out of the box. You all right there, Nut Farm? You are getting a little thirsty, I'm sure. On the bottom, we can see, as with most of these, it's just usually just one piece of injection molded plastic. However, on this one, we do see where the engine is separate, so we can open the hood. See, you take a peek right there. You get some light in there. Pretty cool little promo. They are, John, and it's all of them. I mean, they're all this nice. We've still got some knockout ones coming up. This is a really cool one you don't see very often. Super excited about all these. We're going to have to do a promo wrap after we get done with all these or something, like a whole episode on wrapping on the promos. But definitely a great little piece and in super great condition. There goes a river of hearts. Glad you guys are excited about it. It's pretty cool. The 1962 Chevy Nova in autumn gold. That can be a problem, John. I ain't gonna lie. Story time tonight. I was gonna get out the card file for a bit again. And check out a few cars Dad bought years and years ago. We touched on this a few weeks ago. We're going to give you an Auburn badge to think about it. But the card file that Dad kept on all the parts cars he had, as well as a bunch of cars that he sold over the years. Pete loving the card file. Let's see, where should we start at tonight? I guess we can just start at the back and kind of work our way through. I don't know. How about we just grab a few sold cars and look at those in the past? How's that sound, guys? Or we've got Buick, Pontiac, Cadillac. There's no Cadillac cards. If there's something specific that you want to see if we've got a card on, we can do that. I thought that would be a different twist, Pete. 70 GTO. I don't think we've had a few in the past. We had a few 70 GTOs over the years. Let's see if there's still a card in here on them. Great idea, Michael. The video coming out Wednesday night. Thanks for bringing that up, Pete. I tied a bunch of this stuff together. I'm really curious to see what you guys think. We tied together some cars that Dad had to a car that just got here that we were going to look at anyway. We used the brochures. We used the card file. So I'm curious to see what kind of feedback you guys have on the on that particular video. Yeah, there's not one in the Pontiac file, so those are probably in the sold cars file, and who knows where those are going to be. So let's look at a few sold cars. We'll just grab the last 2 or 3 cards out of the back here. Check out a few of these. And then we'll mark our spot is what we'll do, so we kind of figure out where we're at. The first card, 1922 Buick 6-cylinder. Parted out completely. Bought it for $25 at the Frank Hitchman auction. Sold the engine for $250, window handle for $5, windshield nuts for $15, choke for $25, a cowl light for $50. This is what Dad did back in the day to keep track of the parts cars and the parts he was selling. When he bought them, where he bought them, how much he paid for them, and what he sold off of them. Up next, another 1922 Buick from the Hitchman auction for $35. Perfect Nut Farm, appreciate that. We'll squeeze a few. We'll probably squeeze a couple more auction pieces in here in a little bit after we get done with this. He sold the gas pedal, the hood hold down, spark control, and the horn for $65. Miscellaneous parts for $150. Dash pieces, door handles for $40. Vacuum tank, springs, and wing nuts for $55. Radiator shell for $45. And he sold the balance of the car for $600, April of 1989. So, there's how he tracked all this one. $1941 Chevy Special Deluxe 4-door. Bought it in February of 1986 for $50, and he just sold this car. He didn't part it out in 1987 for $125. So not a lot of detail on this particular one, other than just who he bought it from, dates, and $125 and $50. We'll catch one more tonight. 1941 Pontiac Coupe. Bought it from Keysweater Salvage February 29th of 1988 for $75. Sold the door handles for $30, hood band for $25, hood chrome for $65, dimmer switch for $15, inside window trim for $24. And then he sold the rest of the car for $500. Sold the trunk lid for $35, sold the rest of the car for $500 in April of 1989, and it went to Iowa. So, something kind of different. I don't know if you guys think this is a bad idea, a good idea. It was something different. We've still got stuff to go through as far as the Storytime files and the scrapbook. We still have plenty of that to do. Don't get me wrong, guys. We're still going to keep doing that. I just thought this is something else we could mix in from time to time occasionally and check some of this stuff out. So anyway, I'm going to put a bookmarker in this card file where we were at so that we know where we were. So I've got our spot mark there. We'll go back to the scrapbooks next week, kind of work some of this stuff back and forth, unless you guys tell me you don't want to do it anymore. Got thumbs up from Kevin L. Pete's liking it. Well, Pete's an accountant, so the details always matter to an accountant, no doubt about it. All right, we're working our way to that brochure. Let's catch a couple more auction pieces, then get to that brochure. How's that sound, guys? And then classified ads. We got classified ads coming as well. Oh, plus there's some absolutely killer advertisements in this magazine from January 1969. I keep telling you we got caps, guys. Let's get some of these caps done. All right, let's get, oh, check that out. Check that out. Check that out. Another supercharged super chat. This time from Eric. Boom. Supercharged super chat from Eric hitting us with one tonight. Appreciate that, guys. John, it's all cool. It makes you stop and remember the old days, thinking of holding the flashlight for his dad. Yeah. And I did, that's where I grew up. That's where I learned this stuff, was from this. Everything in here, all these cards in here on all these different vehicles. A lot of these Buicks are now at the yard, but this is where I cut my teeth. This is where Dad got into it. This is where I learned it. It's all in here. It's in these scrapbooks. All right, let's catch a plate and a cap here real quick, and then we're going to get to this brochure. Then we're going to catch some killer magazine ads, and then we'll be ready to wrap tonight. Let's catch a plate. This is a great-looking plate. It's a blackout plate, but they put a little bit of color on this one, at least, thankfully, and it is kind of an odd size, going just north. And that's true, John. A lot that stuff was just kept for records, but now it's cool. Hudson badge. Especially when you look back at what stuff was bringing back in the day, what you could buy a car for, what parts were sold for, compared to what the market's gone today, especially on some of these cars where it's gotten really crazy. Going just north of Kansas up to Nebraska to 1954, all black with yellow letters. This plate looks great for being 71 years old. Good colors, all black on the back. It's kind of a different size, though. 10 3/4. So it's, most of these plates are about 12. This is about 10 3/4. Ron 20. It is a good looking plate. And it is 5 3/4 tall. So a height is very similar, just a little bit stubbier and shorter. It has been used. I can see, you can see, look real close. We can see there were screw marks in it. So it's not new old stock, but it sure looks pretty darn good for its age. On the 1954 Nebraska, we've got Ron at 20, and we are on the timer. Ticking away, then we'll catch a cap, and then we'll get into this brochure. $30 seconds gone. Ron at 20. Good looking cap. But there's going to be some snipers out there hiding on this one. Trying to polish his cap and hold the plate at the same time. Eric, like the video of the Lincoln and Dad's records of the parts sold. It is a bright yellow. 1 minute gone. Ron at 20. We got some more cool Lincoln videos coming, Eric. Ron at 20, and we're ticking away. We're coming down to the end. There we go, Eric, 25. Ron, 35, and that does it. Ron at 35. John came in at the same time, but it was only at 21. Ron at 35 got it done. All those hit. John and Ron hit right at that 128, 129. But Ron had it covered at 35. What? I'm going to give this cap one more good quick polishing here. What? I want to give you a quick polishing. And I tell you what, every time Ron nails it, it's been at that 128, 129 mark. Now, he's going to get burned because everybody always does. You know, I think Tim hit it earlier, and then the next one was 2 seconds too late. But anyway, we need a Hudson badge. We're going to sell a cap. Then we're going to get into this brochure, which is going to blow everybody's mind. At least it blew my mind, but not a lot up there to blow either. So maybe that's just going to be me. There you go, Eric. All right, let's catch a cap. We all love caps. I said cap, not cat. Oh, we got some of those other. Oh, yeah, we got. I forgot we had that other galvanized stuff too. Anyway, I told you we're going to do a cap. We're going to sell this cap for our Mopar fans. What are you doing, dummy? How about a good-looking Dodge? Late 40s era. Some dings and dents, great chrome. The background behind the letters would have been red originally, I believe. Few dings and dents, but a great shine. Not beat up too bad. This thing hasn't been curb checked or smashed or scraped. It's got one little edge where the metal's just broke loose right here. Ron at 10. You guys better watch out. Ron's back in already. For some reason, and I don't understand this, you can't see the back of this cap. It is the chrome all the way around it, but somebody painted the back side of it yellow. Maybe they had like extra cans of yellow spray paint they needed to use up. I don't know. Hey, dummy. Nobody requested you. Nobody requested you. I didn't see any one person say, "Where'd Gray Kitty go?" Not one. Not one person said that. No, they did not. So how about you exit stage right? No, you're not going that way. You're going to get down. You can say hi one more time, and then you need to get down because you're a Gray Kitty. Yes, you're a Gray Kitty. All right, here we go. There. Okay. Keep my arm out here to keep her down. On the Dodge cap, let me give you a dimension. Nut Farm at 20. 10 inches. 10 inches in diameter on the good-looking Dodge cap. Nut Farm at 20. We are on the timer, and away we go. What? What? What is your problem? There. Yeah, that's probably exactly right, John. Maybe they wanted to prevent it from getting rustier on the back. Dummy, Ron, 22. 30, just past that 30-second mark. No one requested a gray cat. There was 0 comments over here. I see the comments are right here. Not one of them says gray cat. So you need to exit. Time for you to exit. Yes, time for you to exit. All right, ticking away on the Dodge cap. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Ron at 22. 1 minute gone, just under 30 seconds left to go. And then we're into the brochure. Cat. Just about ready to wrap this one up. Kevin at 27. I got one hand on a cat trying to keep her off the keyboard. Kevin at 27. And that does it. Kevin at 27. I'm going to put the cap down. I'm going to move a cat. Not ran with a nut farm. Had a 30 in there, but it was too late. That got interesting. Kevin at 27. One dumb cat. Holy cow. Okay. I don't want her to jump up on the keyboard right in the middle of all that. That was almost interesting. All right. We want to wrap auctions tonight. You guys want to do one or two more things? What do you want to do? We got piles here, or we can go to the brochure. We all need an Auburn badge after that little issue. Ready for the brochure, says John. I don't blame you. Pete says more. One more? We want to do one more? What do you want? A cap, a plate, a can, emblems? We'll do one more, and then we're going to do the brochure. Brochure's right here, ready to rock and roll. Not really. I do have a horn button. Auburn cap. Has anybody seen Dennis Taylor's Hot Dump? Has anybody seen Dennis Taylor's video on Hot Dump? Pete's seen it. Any of you other guys watch Dennis or Alex Taylor? Ron hasn't seen it. Great people. We know them well. Awesome people. Great friends. Actually, he's a California boy, but he's been in Arkansas for quite a while. Well, we've got, if you guys didn't see it, he came up and got a cab for Hot Dump. Lee's seen it. This is the horn button out of that truck. So Kevin L said horn button. That reminded me this is still laying here. Brett says more. Maybe this and a plate, but then we're doing the brochure because everybody wants to see the brochure. So this is the horn button out of the cab Dennis Taylor is putting on Hot Dump. Kevin L starting at 20. This is a rubber mounted ring. Chrome around the edges. Chevrolet division. Very basic horn button. Ron, 22. Just under 4 inches in diameter. Brett wants to bid on the cat. She's finally sitting down. Nice chrome on it. This is a pot metal button. Kind of a brush finish here. Chevrolet division. Rubber mounting ring held it in. But there it is. The horn button from the cab that is going on Dennis Taylor's Hot Dump. I've got Ron at 22. We're live on the timer. Here we go. '67, '68. I don't know which year it was for sure, Michael. The orange cab came from here, yeah. Yep, Joe, 67, 68. It was on a C40, C50. 30 seconds gone. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Coming out of the end, Ron at 22. There's only 2 bids on this. Be curious to see where this thing goes. Or if it's done. Kevin L, 25. And that got it done. Kevin L snuck that one in at about 127 and got her done. Eric got a 26 hanging in there that just showed up. Okay, we ready for the brochure? Somebody said something about plates. We'll do a pair of plates real quick. We're just going to roll with them, then we're going to the brochure. 1975, 98, and 99. These are used plates, but they're sequential number. Green and white, good looking. We're just going to knock these out real quick, then go to the brochure. But somebody was asking for more plates. These were laying here. I grabbed them real quick. We'll get these on the timer here pretty quick as soon as I get them written up. And then we'll get to the brochure. Ron at 20. These are different counties, but they're both in great shape. 98 and 99. Big Rig Brett hit us with another super chat. One more supercharged super chat from Big Rig Brett. That's 2 or 3 tonight just from Brett. Appreciate it, guys. One more supercharged super chat. From Brett tonight. 98, 99. These plates are in good shape, but they are used. They're not perfect. They're just cool that they're sequential numbers. Let's get this on the timer. I told you guys we would move through this one pretty quick so we could get to the brochure. Ron at 20. No problem, Brett. Definitely understand that. One more minute on these, then we're going to get the brochure knocked out, see if we can catch a few ads, and then we'll be ready to wind things down. 30 seconds gone. Ron at 20. You are getting the pair, 98 and 99. One minute gone, 30 seconds left. Ron at 20. Coming out of the end. Ron got these locked in at 20. Just about going to find out here in a few seconds. And that'll do it. Oh, Jesse missed it by a second and a half. I hit end as Jesse's bid came in, and it was 132. Ron had a 30 in there trying to cover it. Holy cow. Unfortunately for me, all I had on my screen at the time was the 20. But that's the only fair way to do it, guys. Whoa, what did I do? I just did something here. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's get to this brochure. I've been promising you guys this all night. It definitely does keep it fun, Michael. That's the whole purpose of it. Add some cool stuff to your collection. Have a good time doing it. All right, guys. Are you ready for this? I've kind of been hyping it up all night, so I hope that I hope you're not disappointed. Every time I dig in these boxes, it is more and more amazing. Tonight, we're going back 86 years. This actually even has a metal spine on it. This brochure has a metal spine. For the supercar of 1939. The supercar of 1939, the new Packard Super 8. What do you think, guys? I hope I didn't disappoint you. Look at this thing. Metal spine. Look at this artwork. That is a lot of hearts. I told you guys, I try not to disappoint you. I try not to get too excited about something that's not crazy exciting. The hearts are still flowing. OMG from John. Wow from Kenny. So, yeah, it's crazy. Now, before we get into this, and this thing has absolutely knock your socks off artwork in it. Believe it or not, it gets better. We ain't even going to open it yet. And I'm going to show you something. Well, let's go ahead and talk about this real quick. Not only, I know, John, we ain't even got into it yet. Not only does this exist in this condition, Packard, ask the man who owns one, metal spine intact. This thing has the original envelope for it. How off the chains is that? This thing is still with the mailer envelope from 1939. I was shocked. I was like, how does this exist? How does this survive? That's kind of was my reaction last night, Ron, actually. A 1939 Packard Super 8 brochure with envelope. Now we can get inside and look at some of the artwork. I mean, and look at this. Just looking at the envelope. Look at the outline. The little dots in the corners. The font. Even the envelope was classy. Yeah. I don't think you're going to get this one, John, but... So, who's ready to open the brochure? Let's learn a little bit more about the supercar of 1939. A combination of super performance and luxury in a car of moderate price. For you who want a supercar. Yeah, I know. I don't have any gloves, Randy. That's a good point. I should get some gloves on. I'm kind of trying to be careful how I even breathe around it. No more mountains. Split second response. I know, John. I was too. I'm trying not to, Way Camp. Easy to park. Long trip talks. And what's amazing so far is this is not even highlighting the car. It's talking about the ease of use and the ease of driving. Here we're getting into the car, the four-door touring sedan. I did not take a knee when I found it. I sent Addie a text that just said, I sent her a picture of the boxes, and I said, it just keeps getting better. The four-door touring sedan for 7 passengers. Check this out. The touring limousine for 7 passengers. Believe it or not, guys, I almost bought one of these. There was one of these here in town. They donated it to the McPherson College. But I did talk to them about buying it, but they decided to donate it, which is a good thing too. Make sure we're not missing anything. Wow. The Phaeton. The hearts are just flowing. It's like a river. I am going to need to get some gloves, I think. The coupe, the club coupe for 2 or 4 passenger. Check out this interior shot. Oh, wow. This is interesting. This is one, it's beautiful. The 39 Packard convertible coupe. And they have one car in all green, then they have a yellow car with a green interior. I'm not sure, John, but it's definitely off the rails from what this was. This is amazing. Oh, wow. Talk about artwork. Holy cow, look at the lighting in this picture. I say picture, it's a painting. Look what they did with the lighting in this painting. Super Beauty. Titled Super Beauty, obviously a Packard, and just as obviously a Packard with smartness and distinctive beauty all its own. It is definitely a new Packard creation, the Packard Super 8. we're just going to study this one painting for a second. Because, and lighting is huge, guys. We all know that. Lighting is huge in any marketing. But they painted this stuff. Look at this, guys. Look at the lighting in this. Pretty amazing stuff. Now we're talking about the quality, the attributes of beauty. The new louver medallion and chrome louver panels on the hood, elongated headlamps, radiator vanes of alternating chrome and body color, pleasingly streamlined glass and chrome radiator ornament. All identify the Super 8. Yeah, exactly. Who were these people? That's a good question. One thing I did notice here, I'm using the rubber tip of the pen, not the pinpoint, rubber tip only. A armrest that hung down from the ceiling you could rest your arm in. Superpower. To describe the Packard Super 8 power plant as a straight 8 engine of 130 horsepower is no description at all. Bare specifications indicate only its sheer pulling power and pleasing acceleration. They convey no hint of the whispery quietness, the satin smoothness, or the casual ease with which this Super 8 engine answers the touch of your toe. It is safe to say that you will never tire of exploring this power plant's superb abilities. Each hill, each signal, each new traffic condition will offer you a welcome opportunity to discover some new phase of its superpower performance. Such a power plant asks only one thing of you: the opportunity to prove that an entirely new and zestful motoring experience is now at your command. Look at this, all the technical stuff they put in here. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it, John. Yeah, that would be pretty neat, Kevin. Super handling, facts about the handling, the differential, the steering, the transmission. Of course, juice brakes, which at the time, pretty big deal. 39 was the first year that Ford even had juice brakes. Of course, Packard had it. But there again, this is, it's kind of hard to take this in, guys, but look at this. A cutaway painting showing the drivetrain in the car. And of course, the breakdowns on the suspension and driveline components as well, highlighting the juice brakes, the clutch and pressure plate, the gearbox, the differential, the steering. Contributions to comfort, the ride, the interior. And this is something that, there again, we talk a lot about the technical aspects of these brochures that we'll never see again. The hearts are still flowing. But some of this other stuff that isn't just technical that we don't see much of anymore. This actually literally breaks down the seat. 12 reasons why Packard Super 8 seats will keep their shape and keep you rested and refreshed on all-day drives. A, individual coil springs in separate containers. B, burlap bolster wire skirt. C, end-to-end lateral spring. D, sturdy fabric base for padding. E, hair interlaced pad. F, cotton knee roll. G, sailcloth cover. H, cushionary cotton padding. I, unbleached padding. J, long wearing broadcloth trim. K, front facing padding. L, shape retaining transverse cross brace. This is the seat. They're just talking about the seat. Look at this, guys. We got the whole chassis here showing our spring and everything for your ride. This was the description of the seat cushion that I just read you. There again, something we would never see today. That's right, John. All this detailed out AI. Exactly. We're getting towards the end, guys. We got a few pages to go yet. Quality controlled by a one-profit factory. And obviously, Packard was a luxury brand. Years ago, Packard established its exceptional policy of building its own cars under its own roof, drawing upon manufacturing sources beyond its own walls to the least possible extent. By means of this policy, Packard protects its owners against multiple profit production and likewise assures them of a single standard of quality, the Packard standard. The vast Packard plant is so complete, even to its own stamping mill, pattern shops, and body plant, that only a comparatively small percentage of parts are made by other than Packard craftsmen. In such instances, inspection so rigid is exercised that the Packard you will buy will measure up, part by part, to Packard precise quality. First. Quality checked by a constant use proving ground. I mean, they are selling you the entire deal here. Here's how we build it. Here's how we test it. Packard is the best. Here's why we're the best. Amazing artists. Amazing artwork in these baling wire. These are just stunning. And at the end, in addition, new Econo Drive, available at an optional extra cost. The Packard Econo Drive automatically disengages itself at any speed under 30 miles per hour. A convenient control under the instrument panel permits you to keep the Econo Drive inactive or ready for immediate operation. So you had an overdrive available. And then, of course, it also lists specifications on the 39 Packards on the last page. And then, of course, once again, back to the back, Packard. Ask the man who owns one. So anyway, guys, That was a lot. I hope I didn't disappoint you. I really hyped this one up, but man, is this thing not crazy, off the chains, amazing, spectacular? That's a good word, Ron. I like that. Super awesome. Good. Seeing this when I pulled it out was crazy enough. But this was actually behind it. And when I realized that this thing had its original envelope after 86 years, I think that's right, isn't it? Yeah. 86 years. It is definitely great history, Kevin. Amazing from the Nut Farm. Think about it. You walk in, they give you this brochure like walking off with free art. That's exactly right, John. Just like I said, was a lot to even take in. We've talked about this a little bit before. And, you know, Kerry gets on with us occasionally. He was on the night we opened, when we brought it in and revealed the collection. But I can't thank Kerry enough. There's no way I can ever thank him enough for giving me the opportunity to purchase this collection from him. I mean, he got the best of the best. This stuff is amazing. I can't thank him enough. It's given me the opportunity to add it to my collection, which is giving me the opportunity to share it with you guys. I hope it's going to start helping the videos that we can all learn more about the cars that we're doing videos on, because I've got this literature to work with. Glad you liked it, Kenny. Like I said, I get a little excited about this stuff. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, but holy cow, a 39 Packard brochure in the original envelope is just, who even thinks that would exist today? Yeah, it's pretty good, John. So, like I said, I mean, this is all because of Kerry. Great, Greg. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You know, like I said, Kerry does get on with us occasionally. He doesn't comment much. He did the night we unveiled the collection, but this is all because of him. This was his lifelong collection. We've got boxes of it to work with. This stuff is amazing. It's mind-blowing. Addie and I both love it. Like I said, there's no way to thank him enough for giving me the opportunity to purchase it and add it to my collection and be able to share it with you guys. It's awesome. So this thing was just, it was a lot. I found it last night and I'm still geeking out. And I've known about it for over 24 hours now. I've looked at it. I've held it. We've all studied it. Nobody going to follow that act. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what we haven't found yet, Nut Farm. There's still some great stuff in there. We're going to spend some time with those limited brochures. You guys haven't seen the Ford dealer albums yet that are in there. I mean, we're probably going to have to do separate videos on those Ford dealer albums. It's just so crazy that this stuff is just, man. The dealer albums, those literally are probably just going to have to be a full video to experience those dealer albums. They're that amazing. There's only two, but man, they are home runs. So anyway, guys, we've all got to come back down now. I know I do. That was obviously with the great feedback, great response from you guys. I'm glad you guys loved it. I know I get excited sometimes, but man, some of this stuff is worth getting excited about, I think, and have a lot of fun with it. So guys, I appreciate your support. This was a blast. We're going to tuck this back away in its plastic sleeve. But, you know, when I first pulled this out, this is what I saw, just like this. I was like, holy cow, 39 Packard. Then I seen this edge, and I'm like, no way. And I pulled it out, and it was there. The original envelope was there. the supercar of 1939, the new Packard Super 8. Yeah, it is kind of an adrenaline dump now. So anyway, I know it's just art. It's art. That's the only way to describe it. It is art. I mean, this is stuff that you would frame and hang in your house type stuff. So anyway, guys, we did a lot tonight. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad that that you guys didn't think I was blowing smoke at you with the brochure. And who knows what we're going to find next week. Just knowing what we still have to look at is crazy. But, man, there's a lot more cool stuff coming. And like I said, I can't thank Kerry enough for the opportunity. And he does get on with us occasionally. He just doesn't comment that often. But, man, this is just some great stuff. And I'm lucky that I got the call, and I'm lucky to be able to share it with you guys. And we can have so much fun with it. All thanks to Kerry. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. I know a lot of you guys need to get to bed. I'm a little wired up. I ain't going to bed for a little bit yet. But, man, we had a lot of fun with that. So, you bet, Kenny. But there again, if you guys weren't here, we wouldn't have much. So, I appreciate your guys' support. Like I said, Tuesday night, at this point, I'm going to be out on the road unless something changes. So, keep an eye on that, but if I don't pop on Tuesday night, you'll know why. We'll get some more content up this week. We've got that Buick video coming up with the card file and the brochures coming up Wednesday night. And then Friday night, we will have the video from 2 weeks ago, since we just went public with the carousel video last week, since Pioneer Village had their grand opening for the carousel coming up on Saturday morning. So, you guys will be getting a Lincoln video on Friday night, I believe. I think that's how I got them set up. I don't remember. First time, Randy. Well, glad you stopped by. Glad you checked us out. And glad you had a good time. Tell your friends. We got a great group on here. It's an amazing group of people that hang out. And glad you enjoyed it, Randy. Awesome Nut Farm. There again. You know, this wouldn't be anything. I would just be a dum-dum sitting here talking into a webcam if you guys weren't here participating and making this what it is and having all this fun. So we'll get those videos coming up next week. I think that's what's coming up next week. I don't even remember anymore. Actually, Ron, that's a good question. I was going to mention that. Since I've been using Pirate Ship now for 3 or 4 months, it is starting to remember some of them. So I used to have it every time. Pirate Ship is starting to remember some of it. So it's always good if you throw it on there occasionally. But I was going to mention that earlier on. Thanks for bringing that up, because I completely forgot to. That it is starting to save some addresses. So, if sometimes it doesn't, but for the most part, it's getting better and it is learning some of it. So I appreciate that. It's not as big a deal as it used to be. But still, if you throw it on there occasionally, that helps make sure that there's something, that nothing gets hung up. And if it goes haywire and it doesn't save it, I'll mention it on the next week. But, yeah, we'll get that Lincoln video up. Yep, and the Buick video. So we got a couple of cool pieces of new inventory coming up for you guys this week on the public videos. We will get some more cool videos up for the members this week, which will go public next week. And hopefully we'll have a whole bunch more new old stock Dodge stuff to check out later this week, plus another sign. Wow, bring home another sign. That shocks no one on here. Anyway, guys, I know it's getting late. I know you got to go. I'm going to clean up this mess, move this pile back over there. Do we sell some more of it down next week? We may see it Tuesday night, but if that's up in the air, we will get that new content up. And if nothing else, we sure hope to see you right back here next Sunday evening, same bat time, same bat station, for some more Gearhead Interactive Live Chat. Hey, Big Job just jumped on. Trying to get internet, bad storms. So I was actually kind of thinking about you just a little bit ago, Big Job. We hadn't seen you yet tonight. So anyway, glad you made it just for a second. You got to go back and look at the brochure. Let's show Big Job real quick the brochure, and then we're going to bail out of here because we got to share this with him. Big Job, we're going to give you this real quick so you can go back and check it out. The brochure from tonight, super amazing. The supercar of 1939, the new Packard Super 8. Not only is the brochure amazing, it has its original envelope. So you don't want to miss that. Big Job. Thanks, Greg. I appreciate that. Glad you guys are having fun. Tell your friends we got an awesome group. Have them come hang out with us on Sunday night. Check out the other videos. Appreciate you new guys stopping by. Glad you had fun. We're going to get out of here, let you guys get to bed. Like I said, same bat time, same bat station, 7:30 next Sunday night. More Gearhead Interactive live chat. Have a great week, everybody. We sure hope to see you all next Sunday.